Welcome back from that short break. Now we're still continuing with the discussion, and if you've just tuned in, we're actually discussing and comparing Uganda's elections to the recent ended elections in the USA. Now in the studio I have a guest. He said he doesn't like titles, but I would say a father, a sir, a businessman. I don't know what should I add. Honorable Gashumba or just Gashumba? But still, nevertheless, we went on for a break with the question: could the support we get from Barack Obama's government actually contributing to Africa's development or poverty? I understand poverty is one of the problems Africa is facing, and very many countries come out to give us aid. But is this contributing to our downfall as Africans or to our upgrade in the living environment? But let's refer that question to the guest in the studio. Yeah, tell you what do you think?
For me, I'm comfortable calling me Gashumba.
Yes.
There's a book I read by a guy called Robin Sharma, a leader who had no title. For him, he was very clear, telling us that we are all leaders no matter where we are. Even if you are a chairman of the district, even if you're a parent, the moment you try to change people's lives, you are a leader. Those titles of honorables, I hate them because we've been disappointed by these so-called honorables. Actually, they're not honorable, because to me that title honorable, it means a lot. Yes. That's why for me, you're a member of parliament, you are my friend, I'll call you by your name. If you are a doctor, I'll call you Dr. Chiyimba. If you're a professor, I'll call you professor. If you don't have such a title, I'll call you your name, because I know these MPs, I know these chairmen of the districts. I've been with them before they were elected, so I cannot call them a honorable. So to me, comfortably call me Gashumba, because people know Gashumba. If we stood on the streets of Kampala and you lined up 10 MPs and Gashumba, people will pick me out.
Actually, yeah, that's true, yeah.
So we'll be known by what we do to the public, not by the titles.
Yes.
That's why I don't agree with them. But in Uganda, it's very unfortunate. You go to a function, they will introduce a councillor, they will introduce an MP, they will introduce, but Murwana is seated there, Wabamuno is seated there, Wabamuno employs over 400 Ugandans.
Sudil is there.
Yeah, if we had 1,000 Sudilis, Murwanas, for me, talking about cause like 62 of them, if we are like 100 of me, you are getting
that's like 120.
Yes, yes. Now look at, and these so-called honorables, how many Ugandans do they employ? Nothing, apart from their family, nothing. So to me, and they are my friends, and I know they are watching. I have no beef with you, but my name is Franco Gashumba. I don't tell you what you want to hear, I will tell you what you must hear.
Actually, yeah, they are watching. Most of them do watch.
About this aid, let me tell you personally, I don't believe in aid. Africa has been getting aid for the last 50 years. What do we have? Nothing. What do we show? There is no single country that has ever developed on aid. Name one country that has ever developed via aid. I'll give you this watch and go. Nothing. Look at the countries like the Asian tigers, Malaysia, Indonesia, Hong Kong, those countries. They realize that they have to have home-made solution to their problems, and they started it. So if you're an African and you're watching Record TV now, we must come up with a home-made solution that are going to solve our problems. Solution that are going to get Ugandans out of the poverty. Now, the president recently said that Uganda will be first world country 50 years from today. That's a lie. It's a lie. Show me any benchmarks in the foundation that is being set to have that. Nothing. Nothing. Look at the schools where our children go to. What do they study from school? In P7, they study passing P7, Senior 4, passing Senior 5, and Senior 6. But deep in them, they have nothing. You're getting me? I was speaking to a lady from Luwero on Saturday, and she told me that for her biggest disappointment is coming to Kampala to buy veterinary drugs for her cows. Yes. Why would a lady drive from Luwero to come to Kampala to buy veterinary drugs? Drug stores should be in Luwero. Veterinary doctors, extension workers. If I wanted to change Uganda to the second world country, I would make sure that I give incentives to teachers that teach sciences. I make sure that if a student does pass well in Senior 4, Senior 6 in sciences, I'll make sure that this student his school fees is paid in the university, or incentives. Making sure that 10 years from today we'll be having a number of veterinary doctors that will be best up country. If they're best up country, I make sure that I pay them well, making sure that if one is posted in Kayunga, in Imbarara, in Kamwenge, in Kaburamaido, he has all the benefits he needs in Kampala, then you can transform Uganda. But you cannot transform Uganda by talking only. You have to show it by action. About aid, forget. There is no country that has ever developed via aid. Look at China. China is the second world economy. Why?
Yes.
Because they designed the systems that are going to change the lives of the people in China. Now, every Ugandan does fly to China. You don't want to do business in China because all the clothes we are putting on, they are from China. Women in Kayunga and in Ruelo, if we empowered them, they can even also export things to the international market. But unfortunately, the leaders we have from top to bottom, they don't think beyond today. They think of today. They call it Merialero. You are getting me? And I can tell you, we are going to pay a price for this. Every year, over 60,000 Ugandans graduate from universities. They have no jobs. My biggest fear is not like a genocide or something. My biggest fear that people are graduating every day with useless courses, with no jobs. What are we doing for them? And if you're an MP or chairman of a district, you're president of Uganda, please, Ugandans, we are seated on a time bomb because of the students graduating every day with no jobs. And unfortunately, schools in Uganda prepare us to look for jobs, not to create jobs.
Actually, talking about that, last week, but when we were talking about entrepreneurial skills, and we actually gave them entrepreneurial skills.
Excellent.
We taught them from writing an application to a company to creating your own job. Now, this is what happens. We got around 270 graduates from Kumba. We had around 2,700 graduates from Chambogo. Now, all of those ones, and the way they are looking for white-collar jobs, they are not available anymore. Like in the country, there are no more jobs to look for. So you as you, even just add on to that, like what would you propose to them?
First of all, if I was the president of Uganda, and I've written this to the ministry, I don't know how many times, change the syllabus. Look at the system. Chairman Mao, the late Chairman Mao of China, he said it clearly. The teacher that does teach your daughter or your son in the kindergarten school will decide what this person is going to be.
Yes.
The self-esteem for this teacher. This young boy or this young girl in a kindergarten school should be told from day one that you can be what you want to be. You can be your own. You can create a job for yourself.
Yes.
But from day one, we are told to look for jobs. It's in Uganda where you find an O-level student doing 14 useless subjects. Subjects which are useless. Look at a young boy who wants to be a medical doctor, a veterinary doctor. Why would you spend most of his time studying Shakespeare? How was Shakespeare? Where was he looking? Blah, blah, blah. It's in Uganda you're going to find a young girl who wants to be a doctor, wasting her time studying River Zambezi, Amazonian forest, prairies. What do they do to this person's future? So we should make sure that children study what things which are relevant to their future. Like, I had to get my daughter from Namagunga, senior 1. Because I realized her dream was not, Namagunga is one of the best schools in Uganda,
yes,
but her dream was not there. I had to make sure that I take her to a school where she can realize her dream. Her friends have been doing 14 subjects. For her, she's doing 8. She wants to be a lawyer. She says, if I can't be a lawyer, I want to be an IT specialist. So we are focusing a lot of her energy in that. One teacher told me that the science students do study in primary, it's enough unless you are going to be a doctor. You are getting me? So we have to change this syllabus so that children really study what they want to be. And again, identifying this person, your son or your daughter, what does he want to be?
Yes.
I have a brother, he's called Rota, he runs a promotions company. For him, his area is about to do with music. Even if you gave Rota $1 billion shillings, yes, he's going to put up apartments, but he's going to add more money in the music industry. Meaning that, do you know this son of yours? Do you know this daughter, what he wants? You are getting me? Students in Makere in Chambuko doing courses not they want, but because he got less points.
Yeah.
Deep in him, he wants to be a doctor, or he wants to be a nurse, or he wants to be a teacher. But the points he got led him to Alongo University.
Into business.
Yes, and you parents outside there, you should be part of your children. Try to study children. The more close you are to children, they are going to open up and tell you what they want to be.
Wow. now, you're taking me off topic. Now, the thing is, let's try to look at democracy, relating to democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, where is Uganda right now when it comes to democracy, especially in elections right now, as we specify in elections?
Let me tell you, personally, I believe...
Because this is what happens. When we were electing for president these last elections, what happened, they came out and they said, in an area where there are like 300 residents, the president won by 500 votes. Now you keep on wondering, where did the other 200 votes come from?
Unless we centralize this, meaning that, for example, in the US, each state has the power to declare a president. That's it. Cincinnati, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Barack Obama has won them. But in Uganda, Kapiripiriti, they have to fight to electoral commission to announce the winner. But before you can go there, look at the electoral commission. Who elects these commissioners? The president of Uganda. And the president of Uganda is part of the game. He appoints the electoral commissioners and is part of the game. What do you expect them to do? Yeah. The chances are high that they are going to make sure that this guy excels. We've seen it once, twice. The former electoral commission chairman Aziz Kasuja showing this thumb thing in Kololo, meaning that we've won. So to me, this thing of democracy, and personally, I don't believe in democracy. Personally, I believe in leaders who change people's lives. My mom in Masaka, for her, she's comfortable, no matter who is the president of Uganda, but as long as when she falls sick, there's medicine for her. When her son is involved in an accident, there's medication for him. So to me, this business of... Now, let me ask you a simple question. And you viewers, we've been electing leaders and leaders every 5 years. Have these leaders changed your life? Let people call you. We've been electing leaders every after 5 years. Chairman of the district, member of parliament, presidents. Has your life changed? You know, to judge a country that is developing, it's not judged by the houses individual put up. It's judged by the infrastructure, stable electricity, running water, and hospitals. Let the callers tell you. They'll tell you, you've been electing and electing. Have they changed your life? Simple. To me, I would live with a dictator who makes sure that Kampala is stable. The lights are on. When it rains, now in Kampala, it drizzles for 10 minutes, Kampala is impassable. And the president was quoted like 2 months back thanking the executive director that there are no more floods in Kampala. If it drizzles, not raining, by the way, drizzling for 10 minutes, Kampala is impassable. Dust. Kampala is the biggest village you can ever hope to go to. You're getting me? So do we need elections or services?
So to you, Jennifer's done nothing so far?
She has tried. For example, she worked on the hawkers.
Yeah.
What else?
They said she had beautified the city.
Where? Kampala Road. From Bank of Uganda to Jinja Road. And you're telling me, no. Before you can look at the beauty, how much money have we injected in her?
Yeah.
How much? We should do evaluation. It's like telling me that Frank is smart, is putting on a nice suit. If I bought this suit 1 million and you gave me a budget of 20 million, you should demand over a suit of 20 million.
Yes.
You're getting me. So she has tried the Batembe. Kampala is full of darkness. The manhole covers everywhere when it rains. We are like, it's like a swamp. No. And I supported her so much, by the way. From day one, I supported her. But of recent, I've started changing my signals.
Okay, the thing is, allegations were actually raised on YouTube and very many communication skills, and they said that America was one of those countries. America was one state that was causing problems to Africa. So how true is these elections?
That America was what?
One of those countries causing problems to Africa.
You know, the elites of today, sometimes I wonder, what do you expect a capitalist to do? I'm a businessman. I won't tell you where I get my goods from, and I won't tell you the tricks I use to pay taxes. The US president will make sure that Africa is not stable, to make sure that they continue exploiting it. Simple mathematics. Would you tell your competitor, if your husband he's dating another girl, would you tell this girl of yours, that, you know, I get my makeup from this, I wear this perfume? You won't. No, yeah. So now it goes back to Africans. If you know US is responsible for the kavuyo in Africa, what have you done? Yes, we know CIA was behind the killing of Lumumba in Congo.
Yeah.
But Kabila recently invited the UN personnel in Congo. Are you aware the budget for the UN in Congo is bigger than the budget of the government of Rwanda? Do you know that? So when I hear people complaining, America is responsible for what we are going through, these are capitalists. They will make sure America is not, the US government does not have friends. They have allies. As long as you are doing the right thing for them, they are going to support you. Simple.
Wow. So now this brings me to another suggestion. That there was a rumor that came on the internet that they said that America was supporting Eritrea, and apparently Eritrea is supporting the Al-Shabaab in Somalia.
No, I don't think so. You know, the social media, sometimes you should also question them. You know, guys watching Record TV, the social media she's talking about, it's like anyone walks in.
Yeah.
Now we're on Record TV now. Let's assume we've recorded this show.
Yes.
I can go and upload it right away. I can stand on the streets of Kampala and shout Museveni is a dictator, blah, 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 blah. And I upload it. Someone in Vietnam, in Germany, will just believe me. You're getting me. Yes. So the YouTube, anyone who can upload something on YouTube. The issue is verifying that the information, is it right? You're getting me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next question. Could the increasing electoral ways that are going in Uganda could be the contribution to the dictatorship we have in the country? You know,
you guys chose this. And I told you I don't believe in democracy. I believe in leaders that serve the public. You know, African leaders, some of them, you can hardly know that he's a dictator unless you're close to him or her. Yeah. Look at the elections. Who appoints the electoral commissioners? Who sanctions the budget? When it's time for elections, another DC is the official agent for the incumbent. The police is part of the brutality in the country. The army is part of it. What do you expect them to do? You're getting me. But in the US, I don't recall ever seeing that someone heading FBI in Arizona, in Virginia, is campaigning on behalf of Obama. Deep in him, he does know where he belongs.
Yeah.
But as a matter of principle and the policy, FBI or CIA does not go into elections. Actually, Romney, the guy who campaigned with Barack Obama, I hear his security was equivalent of the security of the US president. It was CIA and FBI guarding him.
Oh, wow.
You're getting me. But in Uganda here, if you're in the opposition, in DPF, DC, and you had a rally in Kayunga, by the time you're arriving in Mkono, Chiboko squad is there to beat you up.
Yeah.
So this is for the democracy there too. And they're doing this because you, the viewers, you've let them do that. You should stand up and say, we need a better Uganda. We need a Uganda where we live in peace, where we change leaders like reverends. I hear the Americans recently changed leaders.
Yeah, they are leaders.
That's the type of governance you demand for. But if you don't demand for that, you get what you want.
So we were raising a question last week, and we were talking about the Lord Mayor's responsibility, and people were comparing Lord Mayor to Jennifer Msi, and they actually said that it's the Lord Mayor who is not attending to Jennifer Msi, and it's Jennifer Msi who doesn't attend the meeting. So to me, it ended up confusing me, because a lot of people called in and they were actually saying that the Lord Mayor has no more work in KCCA and he can as well just go back home and rest. So do you
I have to confess this, the mayor of Kampala is my friend. We hail from the same area. I voted for him and I actually funded his campaign, partly. But to me at the moment, the mayor and the Muchala Musisi, they should sit down and iron out their differences. The more they continue fighting every day, Kampala has no destiny. I can assure you, I'm monitoring both of them, but they have disappointed us. This business that I don't have powers, if you know you don't have powers, simply resign.
Yeah.
And personally, I don't believe, there is no way Muchala Musisi, she's going to win Kampala without the political support. That's a lie.
Yeah.
She needs the councillors, because these leaders were elected by people.
Yeah.
And there is no way the political class won't work with the Muchala Musisi. So it's advisable that both of them, the two camps, they should sit down. But it works in the interest of President Museveni. You know, President Museveni is a very smart person. For him, it's comfortable seeing the mayor and the executive director quarreling every day, because one day they will go to State House before him. to kneel and beg. That's the Museveni I know. You know, I've known Museveni for many years. And for him, it's comfortable when people are fighting. After fighting, they'll go before him. You look at the Muslims. When they fight, the Chibuli group will go to State House. The following day, the Kampala group, all of them begging to this big man. You're getting Sabalwan. So, to me, the executive director, mayor, he's my friend. We hail from the same area, but we need services. We don't need wars. We need services.
But to you, you're both their friends, I presume, and you're very good.
Which friends?
No, okay. To you, you're mayor's friend. You're not Jennifer's friend.
I've not met Jennifer, see, but initially I supported her. I disagreed with Jennifer the day she demolished Centenary Park, and I went out. It's public knowledge. I was part of the team that stopped it. Jennifer, if you don't know, Gashumba was part of the team that mobilized to stop that demolition. Why? Kampala's problems was not the Centenary Park. Drainage system, the floods in Kampala.
Yes.
The dust, darkness in the city. You're getting me. Border menace. Work on that, you have my vote. If you don't work on that, I can assure you, this Kampala does not belong to you. It belongs to all of us.
So back to the topic. To you, what hinders democracy in Uganda particularly, or in Africa at large?
Do you know what?
What hinders?
Ignorance. People don't know the power they have. If Africans knew, if another person knew the power he has, Africa would be blooming like tsunami. People don't know the powers they have. People in Rwanda, in Congo, in Kenya, in Tanzania, other people think these leaders have the right to think on their behalf. The moment another person does know the powers he has, trust me, you're going to see change will come to Uganda and Africa. Look at South Africa. Apartheid was not stopped in the church or in mosques. They stood up. You're getting me?
Yeah.
They stood up. Look at, I told you about women in the US were not allowed to vote. Even blacks. Slavery was not stopped in the church. They stood up and said, this must end.
Yes.
But in Africa, people think that it cannot happen. And for me, there are things that I've seen that never thought they would happen on this planet. Mandela was in prison for 27 years. I saw Mandela getting out of prison and being elected president of South Africa. It was unbelievable. I think it was 1988 or 1999, the Berlin Wall in Germany, breaking it up. It was unbelievable. 2008, a black man becoming a US president. So anything is possible as long as people stand up and demand for that.
Yeah. So it's all up to you.
Yeah, it goes back to you.
To Gashumba, it's all up to you to demand for your own right and demand to what you want.
Yes.
But again,
don't beg, demand, put pressure. Simple. Let me give you a simple explanation.
Yes.
If all viewers on Record TV now, if you called your friends, no matter where they are, and give them the telephone number for your member of parliament, and you decided to call this person for the whole day, every day for the next 10 days, we need services. I know this member of parliament is going to change that number.
Yes.
Find a way of getting his new number. Continue calling this number. I can assure you. If we decided today that we are going to call ministers their numbers from morning up to sunset, these ministers will change. They are doing this because they know they are presiding over a very docile society. They know. You're getting me?
Yes.
Let me tell you, if I invited Ugandans to a talk show that is going to change their lives in Ambole, you can't see them. You won't see them. But if Shag is performing in Ambole, it will be full. You're getting me? So their dreams are the opposite.
Yes.
You think I'm kidding?
No, you're not kidding.
And at the end of the day, they're going to complain. These dictators are killing us, but you're allowing them.
Yeah, but talking about dictatorship, in Rwanda they say there's a lot of dictatorship. I really think it's all working out.
Have you been to Rwanda?
I've been there. It's really beautiful.
Don't talk about it.
No, the city is clean.
In Uganda,
the city is clean enough.
Uganda, what is the democracy you're talking about? Someone wins an election, electoral commission declares another one. What are you talking about? Yeah. In Rwanda, the Banyarwanda decided that Rwanda, no one should decide for Rwanda. It has to be Rwandese. You are getting me? That's why they have a clean city. The hospitals are working. The ambulances are functioning. The police is there to serve Banyarwanda. You are getting me? Simple. That's the type of governance I need here.
I really don't think we'll ever get Rwandese suffering from any.
Can I give you a shocking story? A friend of mine was involved in an accident here. He was in Mulago for 2 days, no medication. He boarded the bus to Rwanda. He was airlifted from Rwanda to India for treatment. An ordinary person. Can it? For me, wow. my interest is to see my brother or my friend recovering, not someone who is in the government. In Rwanda, you don't need a letter from an LRDC or a minister or a president to get medication. But in Uganda, to be airlifted to Canada, to India for treatment, you must be connected. Yeah. And you are saying there is democracy. And when such a relative of yours dies, you say, Jesus amunonye. Jesus, mukama we yasaze. Olwaki mukama asalawo ku Africa. Ebiseera bisinga tufa, nga stuliment kufa olwa negligence. Accident mu nsi yonna zigwa. Naye ekibuuzo kiri nti accident bwegwa omuntu ono agudde ku accident afunye obuyambi ky'ekibuuzo.
We still have Gashumba in the building, and he's actually so free, so you can as well send us your question on our Facebook page, which is UGN/Record TV. That's our program Facebook page. But you can as well send us your question on our official Facebook page, which is Record TV/Radio Network. Or go to your phone, go to messages, type in UGN, leave space, type in your question, and send it to 8008. But when we come back after the short break, we're going to be talking about Obama's speech. Now, Obama's speech is one of those speech people really appreciated, and they were so happy about it. And on the other hand, Obama's supporters actually thought that Romney's speech was so discriminative. So it's all your take and all your decision to make as we come back after this short break.